Alright, so I'm going to make a sodium silicate texture bowl, and I would try to make some texture here, but before I do that, I like to remove all my throw mark. I'm using my number 3. This is my number 3 half round rib. It's medium size. And just use that to guide it on the outside, and the inside hand is pushing it out so that wall is against the rib, and the rib will take care of it. And I could chop up the unnecessary clay of the corner. Using my number 5 wooden knife, and clean up the bed. You don't want the excess sodium silicate to drip off on top of the clay, so you clean it up. So I'm going to use this, there's a little teeth here, to make some texture from probably a half of inch or 3/4 inch above from here, and then leave about again 3/4 inch without making any texture, because this part here I don't want to brush the sodium silicate, so just leave it alone. So because you are going to stretch it, so you can leave your wall a little bit thicker. I would say more than 1/4 inch thick on the wall. And normally I don't do the straight lines, because when you try to open it up, unless your clay is very thick, otherwise it's going to be very easy to split up. So I only do the horizontal lines. So this is the sodium silicate. It comes in liquid form, liquid. Right, so I brushed the sodium silicate. You can see the surface is a little bit shiny. And now I'm going to apply a little bit of a heat to get rid of some of the shiny, but not too dry. You want to see a slight shiny, not completely dry. If you have it completely dry, it's probably too dry. So I was using the heat gun. The heat gun is very powerful. The heat gun can go up to 500 degrees. You could use your hair dryer. The hair dryer is less powerful, so you probably won't end up with hitting it too dry. Or you could use the torch, the flame torch, the propane torch, and that is even powerful than my heat gun. So you want to do it a little distance. You want to bring the flame too close to your pot, and just heat it very short time. Right, so before I stretch it, I would like the inner part a little bit slippery, so I'm using a sponge there to lubricate it. Put a little bit of water back into the inside of the wall. And you can use a sponge slightly push now. So let me start the wheel and show you how the texture look like now. You can see that when I'm expanded, you will see the more of the vertical line showing up here. Right, and I'm going to use my number 3 half round grip to stretch on the inner part and see how it goes. This curve is, I have a nice curve here, so I'm holding just on the hole here, and then just push that against the inside and apply a bit more pressure there. And you can see that this curve is nice, so when I'm using that, it's gonna push that the curve is following the curve I have on this. Just make sure it is lubricated. So now get to the point, if I want to just make it in for a vase, I could leave it like that. But if I want to make it into a bowl, then the opening has to go wider. So let's just make it into a bowl. So I am going to stretch the rim a bit more further. So I'll grab a little bit of the slip on my finger here and try to put that little throwing mark on purpose inside of my bowl. Put it in there. So if you want to like a very uniform, you can just leave it alone. But if you want to put some spontaneous kind of a shape, you could do maybe just go ahead and alter the rim a bit. Something like this. The chamois again, and then just go and do that little spontaneously waverly kind of a rim. Right, so I push it inside the corner a bit so it's not so rounded. I was using the half round rib to make the nice curve here, but I think that this kind of a shape is better to go with a waverly kind of a rim. So I push it a little bit there. Right, and I will show you the result, the trimming result later. All right, so this piece has been drying overnight and ready to trim. So I'm demonstrating using my new tool that is made of a tungsten carbide loop tool, and it's a square shape. So I'm going to use this to demonstration on trimming the foot of this sodium silicate texture Teabowl. So basically, you want to hold the tool firmly, very firm. So you see that? That's how I do it. Okay, this two fingers holding here, and then this is compressing on the head of the blade, and then I extending my thumb here, so the whole position of the tool is very firm. So the tungsten carbide tools, they stay sharp much longer. It's not like the traditional steel that especially when you are using on the groggy clay, it's very easy to get out. I hate using the tool that is not sharp, so usually I like to resharpen before I go. But with this carbide tool, you don't need to resharpen so often. And then for the foot, I usually will use the corner of my carbide tool to make a mark. So there to give me a guideline that this will be the foot ring, the width of the foot ring there, and remove the clay from the middle. And now I'm changing the way I grab the tool, because you don't want to hold it like more horizontal. Otherwise, this part here is going to hit the side of it, so hold it more vertical. And again, brace the tool. Right, so that's the finished piece. Trim the foot, the texture from the sodium silicate on the side. Right, thanks for watching, and see you next time.